Good evening there. Thank you very much for joining us. This is a Friday briefing. We're, of course, getting you live and direct from our online platform. Thank you for keeping with us here at KTN News. My name is Betty Kalons. This second day of February 2018. We have the latest news updates coming right here in this hour. All right, now, a majority of television viewers in Kenya continue to remain in the dark with regards to watching their favorite programs and news pieces following a decision by the Communication Authority of Kenya to ignore a court order directive to switch back on the signals for the first TV stations. The blackout comes on a day a fiery confrontation was witnessed at the main entrance of the Communications Authority office, pitting activist Okia Omtata and security as the activist was trying to serve the body with the court papers. Well, we'll be having that story later on here on the show. But still on what's happening here in the country with regard to the darkness for Kenyan television viewers. Now, sources inside the government say that after successfully barring activist Okia Omtata from serving the court orders on the Communication Authority of Kenya, the government was considering that no court order has been served and therefore the freeze on TV signals for KTN News, Citizen, Inoro and NTV would stay in force. Let's now link up with my colleague Sophia Wanuna, who has been following up and digging into what's going on in government circles. Sophia, good evening. Have you been able to speak to some of high-level officials in President Uhuru Kenyatta's cabinet, and what are they saying?
Good evening, Betty. Yes, we have been able to speak with some top officials from State House, some of the cabinet secretaries, and it's day 4 since that shutdown of media houses commenced. And despite that court order issued yesterday to reopen these 3 leading networks in the country, that order is yet to be implemented. And according to these officials in State House, in cabinet, they are yet to see the orders. And as you rightfully mentioned earlier, Okia Omtata, who moved to court with that petition, tried to go and serve the officials at the Communications Authority, and he then sent out a protestation through social media saying that his efforts and those of the court process server earlier before to serve the Communications Authority of Kenya had been thwarted by officials that identified themselves as police officers who had orders to ensure that nobody served this court order to the Communications Authority. However, later on, we did see Okia Omtata again send out what he appeared to be copies stamped from the Attorney General's office, as well as the Interior Ministry and the Ministry of ICT, saying he'd been able to successfully serve them. And so reaching out to government sources, saying now that it appears the Attorney General, Betty, who's a chief advisor of government, had been served, why then are the media houses not being reopened? Because you'd imagine the Attorney General of the Republic should then advise with immediate effect following such a court order to do what it says. However, one of the top officials in State House says the problem and the challenge they are seeing is that Okia Omtata is not serving this order in accordance to how it's stipulated should be served, in a sense that he's not following the prescribed fashion, that with each order there is a manner in which it should be served, and that is usually clearly outlined, and that he has not done so yet, and that is why they are not obeying it. So this is one of those areas, Betty, in coming days we'll wait to see how it plays out, because they're saying if yes, it has been served on the Attorney General, then they will await for the advice from the Attorney General on the way forward. So a day after this court order, any action on it yet to be seen, Betty. But also another important area, we've been able to engage these officials in President Uhuru Kenyatta's government, is the arrests that we've witnessed earlier this morning. We saw Miguna being arrested, then we saw TJ Kajwang being arrested the other day, and because for Miguna, he's the one who prescribed the oath, that controversial oath on Raila Odinga, and TJ Kajwang for participating in what they term an illegal act. And so the question I put to these officials is, so you're arresting these people around the person who actually took this oath you describe as illegal, Raila Odinga. So why are you not arresting Raila Odinga? And what they're saying, Betty, is that when it comes to criminal offenses, in which this one is is how they're seeing it as. There is no statute of limitation to criminal offenses, so that they're saying there's all the time to charge Raila if they ever do intend to do so that there is no rush. They could charge as many people as possible, but there is no rush to that. However, analysts looking at that, Betty, argue an attempt to arrest the Right Honorable Raila Odinga would lead to mayhem, the kind of mayhem that perhaps even led them to shut down the media houses. Because remember, Betty, they said at the time they had intelligence that indicated there were plots to see a massacre unfold that would have seen wide coverage of the same. So at the end of the day, with all these officials, despite the many developments we've witnessed in the recent past, Betty, controversial ones that have seen a lot of public outrage, even from the international community, the government and these officials are not regretting. In fact, they see this as ensuring the rule of law is maintained here in Kenya. Betty.
All right, Sophia, let's talk a bit about the reaction so far. And of course, you mentioned that there are these arrests that have been taking place, but there's also something to do with the journalists, Larry Madowo, Ken Mijungu. They're also going through, some of these processes. What can you tell us about what's going on with them so far?
Yes, because what we heard from CS Matiangi the other day when he talked about they would not reopen the media houses because investigations were going on against individuals they felt were responsible. And soon thereafter, then we saw that quote-unquote siege outside the Nation Center, and reports were that they were waiting for Linus Kaikai, Mijungu, as well as Larry Madowo, I beg your pardon, to arrest them. So we saw what happened thereafter is that they sought what is called anticipatory bail, which in a sense, Betty, ensures that you're not arrested up until if the police officers require for you to give more information, then you can do so. So what we know so far is that they were in fact granted that anticipatory bail, and the police officers can now speak to them on any issues and questions they may have around the coverage of this. So quite a number of controversial moves that have been witnessed on this one, because even on the case of TJ Kajwang, the Roraka Member of Parliament, who is so donned in his legal regalia, that's the gown as well as the wig in that ceremony, standing right next to Honorable Odinga. One of the charges he faces is participating in an illegality, and a key question that lawyers have raised, Betty, is quite a number of people participated. In fact, hundreds of thousands were gathered at the Uhuru Park on that day. So to charge this one person for participating, then perhaps all of the individuals present should be charged. But as I said, State House officials from Uhuru Kenyatta's government do not see this as being out of order. They are saying that what would have happened had they not made and taken the steps they did would have been worse in as far as Kenya's peace and harmony is concerned.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much for that update. Sophia Onuna there reporting and talking to us about the latest with regard to this media shutdown in the country. And of course, quite a number of Kenyans, a majority really of television viewers, continue to remain in the dark.